And we're live. It's Bardowski, founder at $1 Million Party Girl, with a brand new episode of Social Girl Live. This is my weekly show where I teach you how to captivate, connect, and convert. I call that my 3 C's success formula. Today, we're talking about what's in when it comes to social selling as we all head into your busiest season of the year. And of course, that is the fall holiday season. The last 3 weeks, I've been doing a lot of travel, speaking at your conferences. And I just got back from Tupperware, where my topic was what's in and what's out for parties. In fact, their theme was, or should be all year long, bring on the party. And that has a lot to do with I'm going to be talking about. You're going to learn 6 buzzwords, we'll call them 6 social selling buzzwords that you need to know as you get ready to have your biggest selling season, and what you need to start doing a little bit differently in a good way, because it's going to help you grow your business even bigger, and also what you might want to stop doing, especially practices that are no longer relevant and, quite frankly, just don't work anymore, right? A lot has changed in the last few years, and it's time to adapt. So let's jump in. I see everybody coming in. If you're a leader, you definitely want to invite your teams to this. Let's bring them up to date on everything that's new that is going to help you captivate, connect, and convert into the rest of this year, and honestly, beyond as we continue into 2022, 2023, 2024. So make sure you guys invite your teams to watch. I see Alexis there, Gloria, Anita, Vivian, Brenda, Kelly, Lisa, a lot of Visionistas in the house here. Rob and Ray that are watching. It's so great to see you. I actually haven't gone live in about 3 weeks because I've been traveling so much. But what I was able to do, and this is one of the top trends, is restream prior episodes of my show. So if you have been watching Social Girl Live over the last few weeks, it was actually a replay, but I used StreamYard to restream that content. So the good news is you're going to learn really how to save more time. It's not about creating more content. It is taking one thing that you're doing and using it multiple places. I'll tell you what that's called. There's actually a term for that. In fact, right now I am going live, and I see Lori there is watching on YouTube. Check this out. I can even put her comment on screen. You see the little YouTube icon there versus here's Liz's comment. You see the Facebook icon. So I am streaming to 2 platforms at the same time. So if you're watching on YouTube, let us know. This is a YouTube live broadcast. So let's jump right in. And as you guys are watching, I want you to stick around for the end. I know I always have like a little mind blown, mic drop moment I like to have at the end of my show. Well, this is going to be a big one. I think you guys are just going to be like, so don't miss it. I'm going to be putting something on screen that you are actually going to be able to tap the screen and go to my website. I'm going to show you how to do that. It's kind of a little hack because you guys know I love my hacks. All right, so what are some of the terms that you need to know to be a smart network marketer? How do these impact you? And more importantly, how are you going to stay relevant and be able to grow your business? All right. I'm just checking the comments real quick. I see lots of familiar faces there. All right, so the first term, and when I did the keynote at Tupperware, you guys who are watching from Tupperware all learned about this new trending way to party. If you guys are watching, you can let me know if you remember what it is. The word is Phygital. Phygital. What Phygital is, it's the combination of physical and digital. This is what you need to be thinking. So it's no longer in person or virtual party, right? That's kind of like that mindset that we've been in. Like, do you want to party in person? Obviously, that has been the biggest challenge over the last couple of years. In fact, I asked all of you before I went live, when was the last time you had an in-person party? Most said never, especially those of you that started in the last 2 years. It wasn't even an option. But now people are craving that human connection. We want to get back together. We want to see our friends. We want to see our family. So smart direct sellers are going to start offering a Phygital experience, a combination of in-person and digital, really merging the two together. It's no longer in person or virtual. It's both, because why can't we? So I want you to imagine this. Imagine a virtual party, but you encourage the host to invite some local friends. You could live all across the other side of the country or the other side of the world, for that matter, depending on where you are, able to market your business. Doesn't mean that host can still have some friends over, right? And depending on the product you're selling, odds are if they're hosting, they probably already have some of your products that they can then show off to their friends and family that are local that are coming over and beam you into their living room, whether it's on a Zoom or live that you're going live and into a Facebook group. People can even put that on their TV now, right? You can watch pretty much anything on a smart TV that you can watch on your phone. And so how cool would that be? That host that's long distance having a virtual experience, but still having some people in her house. Do you think you're going to sell, book, and recruit more? You sure are, because there's nothing that can replace the energy of people coming together and that strong connection. And how easy will it be to then have a recruiting conversation with that host who basically has just done all the selling for you, right? With her friends over, especially if you have a product, let's say if it's cooking related or skincare related, where they can actually follow you doing a specific routine. Maybe it's Norwex and you're doing the window and they're doing it too. And their friends are seeing that in person. So a great way to have a digital experience. And if you've traveled lately, so I've been traveling a lot, almost everything we do now is Phygital, and we don't even think about it. Like, you can go to your local deli and there's a screen there and you're ordering yourself, right? Many times you're typing in your own order, even though you're in person. It's part digital experience. The same thing with air travel. You go to the airport now, you no longer get checked in. You go to a kiosk, you check yourself in, you print out your boarding your little boarding thing, and you put it on your own luggage, and then you drop your bag off and off you go, right? And so that's what I'm talking about. It's already part of our everyday life, and we're not even thinking twice about it. So yeah, Rihanna's saying her subway is that way. Yeah, exactly. And the same thing, imagine having an in-person experience. And if you haven't ever had an in-person party, well, now is the time to do it. What a great way to kick off your fall selling season. Don't forget the business that's in your backyard. That's right there, right? But then you could have, local neighbors or friends over to experience what you have that's brand new. People are just really craving that coming together experience right now. And then you could go live, invite your long distance friends, family, customers, go live into a Facebook group, and they capture that energy. And I've done this before. Before I retired from direct selling, this is actually how I used to do my parties. And it was such a powerful way to grow both in person and virtually, because I was able to just literally pull out my phone. I did like a little behind the scenes as I was setting up, creating a little fear of missing out, and then, would interact with the guests. And then I would go live and actually ask the guests, like, what are you guys excited about? What did you see? Somebody would be like, well, I'm booking a party. This is, so fun. And they would honestly do all the work for me and allow me to really multiply and scale my business beyond by combining both in person and virtual. So, Phygital is what you need to be thinking, not in person or virtual. It's now one. The two have combined. And as I said, I want you guys to stick around for the end because, and you guys can tell me, how many of you have already done an in-person party or any kind of event this year, as things are opening up. Or have you done an in-person vendor event? So let us know, drop that in the comments, because at the end, I'm going to show you a really cool idea. I'm going to put something on my screen and show you how you can use this for a Phygital party or a vendor event. And well, I don't want to give it away, but stick around. I'm going to show you all this. So yeah, some of you were already doing it before it was even a catchphrase, right? Kelly's saying, I did that pre-COVID too, right? Like you guys, some of you are already figuring out that let's combine the two, have a much bigger impact. So that's number one. Remember, I'm going to give you 6 terms that you guys need to know, new social selling trends to help you rock your season. All right, number 2, frictionless. And, for those of you in my mentoring program, you guys have heard me talk about this. I've talked about it at all of my keynotes this summer. Consumers today are not going to wait around, right, to figure out how to take action with you. Frictionless means achieved with less difficulty. And this is one of the top trends. The more somebody has to click and figure out how to buy, how to book, how to join, they're not going to stick around. You guys know that, right? How many of you have tried to buy something? Maybe there was a pop-up, you couldn't get out of it, you couldn't figure out how to add to cart. Whatever made that experience more difficult resulted in you not taking action. And this is important because as a direct seller, especially if you're doing virtual, it is not a frictionless experience, right? If you're partying in a Facebook group, the scrolling, frustration is real, right? Nobody's going to scroll and figure out where is that party link. They're just going to leave. And, it's no longer, like you start a party on a Sunday, maybe you go live on Thursday, you're closing Friday. There's no longer a flow like that to a party. People could be coming in and out of the party at any time. Anytime you open those doors and say, come on in to this party, you never know when somebody is ready to take action. They could be ready to buy from day one, because consumers today are smart. And odds are, if they've been invited to one of your parties, what do you think they've already done? They've Googled, right? They've Googled probably you. They probably have already checked out your catalog, they probably already know what they want to buy. Now, of course, you're going to, solve all the problems and they're going to want even more. But most people coming to your party today don't necessarily want to wait around. When they're ready to take action, you need to make it a frictionless experience. And so this is really what my Facebook party formula is based on, is how do you leave a little trail of breadcrumbs so that if you have, a mom that maybe just had a baby and she's logging into the party at 1 o'clock in the morning, right? Maybe the baby could be sleeping right here and she's like on her phone, right? Scrolling the party. And she's like, oh yeah, I'm ready to buy. If she's got to search to find what she wants, she's out of there. She's probably not coming back, right? So leaving that little trail of breadcrumbs is so important. And I do have, specific tips for that. Actually, I shared all of those tips with a Tupperware this past week. So you guys know all my secrets. If you're in my mentoring program, you guys know all my secrets. But, think about, and I'll give you a simple example, is at the end of the party, doing a recap of all the, the how-tos, those important tips that you shared. In fact, I have a post like this in our group right now. We just did a more customers in 15 days challenge, and it was 2 posts a day for 15 days, an action step and an accountability. And so, you guys, it would be impossible to scroll to find all of those posts. So what I did was I did one post at the end and I linked back to every single post. Day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, up to day 15. So in one post, creating that frictionless experience for that challenge, our members could literally click on every single link and get to what they need when they need it with no difficulty. So frictionless experience is what you need to be thinking. The old Facebook party model of like expecting people to follow along is just not, it's not relevant anymore. I mean, we hope they do, but people are more kind of coming in and out on their own schedule. That could be 6 a.m. for maybe somebody that's off to work, when they're having their coffee, maybe they're finally catching up with the party post. So you need to have an experience that's easy for people to shop and take action when they are ready. And Melissa's saying, I just used your summary post last night. Yes, it's just a recap, a summary. Awesome that you couldn't do it at that time. Excellent. Yeah, that's a perfect example. Melissa's in my mentoring program and she couldn't participate in the challenge at the exact time that we did it. But she, here we are a couple weeks later, she was able to jump right in and get everything she needed on her time. That's how we need to be thinking. It's an on-demand, right? Netflix has changed that. It's an on-demand world. And speaking of party frequency, we know less is more. And so you could have a 1-day party. Doesn't have to be 5 days. It could be just like a 1-day party pop-up. And especially for those customers that know you, know your products, think outside the box. You don't have to do the same thing that you've been doing the same way you've been doing it. Create that unique experience. So frictionless is what we need to be adapting to. And, a little sidebar with that. I know if you have a party plan business, which most of you guys do, let me know, does your company have a host program? I know most of you are even getting those, repeat orders and throwing them into a party, right? And so that's not frictionless. Customers need to know that they can order from you whenever they want. They don't have to always shop a party. And I've seen, a lot of direct sellers have like the link tree or, their links that you go to, and it's like 6 party links. So what does that say? That is communicating the only way that you can shop with me is to shop a party. And that's probably not true. So make it easy for people to shop when they are ready to take action. You have to adapt to what your customer wants, not what we want to do, right? All right, what else? And you guys have heard me say this term before. I can't emphasize it enough. Edutainment. It's part education, it's part entertainment. And yes, I'm talking about TikTok, I'm talking about Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, of course, as well. And yes, you can repurpose all of that for your virtual parties as well. This is what people want today. They want those short videos that in seconds they can see a transformation, a before and after, really see visually the problem that your product sells. So start infusing those short videos, Reels, or TikToks that are repurposed for Reels into your parties. And the direct sellers that are doing that are really seeing great results. During my Tupperware keynote, I gave a shout out to one of our mentoring members, Nikki Micah. If you guys are in my membership program, you guys all know her because she's very visible in the program. And she just had her biggest month last month, personally selling over $7,200, her biggest month this year, not all time, because she has, she's just coming into the busiest season here. And she did that because she is using edutainment in her parties. Forget the copy paste, forget those scripts, just toss it all away. Just be yourself, be authentic, and start using more video that is edutaining. All right, so that was number 3. Number 4, a top trend, social proof. I'm talking reviews, testimonials, even comments, right? So tapping into just comments that are happening on your own posts when you're live or offering that value-added content. So if you guys are watching and you're in my mentoring program, here's a simple thing you can do is just say, oh, if you're part of our community, tell us what you love most about it. And let your community create some social proof for other viewers who are watching, giving them a reason to want to join your community, right? Or you could say, if you love this dress, or tell us what your favorite outfit is or your favorite kitchen gadget. You can tap into social proof just during a live or any interactive post, a reel, a TikTok, just by asking your customer's host to chime on in. Like, one thing I always did when I did an in-person party was to say, who here has hosted before? And, because I always knew they were going to brag on it. And usually 1 or 2 would raise their hand. I'm like, tell me what you love about it. They did all the work for me in terms of influencing everybody else to want to book a party. Well, you can do that right now going live. You could go live in your group tonight and you could, do some fun tips, maybe share a current host offer and say, if you're watching and you've hosted before, tell us what you love most about it. And they're going to tell everybody why they should be hosting a party with you. That is called social proof. We take action today, not because of what, a brand, and you are a brand, is telling us to do, but because what our friends, what our family, what our community tells us they are most excited about. And that is called social proof. And you can do that right with your comments. That's why, one of the reasons I love going live is because there's so much happening in the comments that can help you captivate, connect, and convert. All right, so that is number 4. Number 5, let me know, have you heard of this term? Voice search optimization. Has anybody heard of that? You might have heard of search engine optimization. That's also known as SEO. If that's a new term for you, don't stress it. All it means is, what are people searching when they're looking for you? Optimizing that is using some of those words in your caption, on your overlays if you're making reels or TikToks, in your own words when you're speaking. For example, this Facebook Live, right? All these words that I'm saying, Facebook knows because they're captioning it, aren't they? They know the exact things I'm saying. So when somebody is looking for this kind of content, it's going to help them find it. That's why you want to write longer, more kind of like mini blog posts, especially with your Instagram post. Not just one word or a first line or two. Put more words in there that will help the algorithm figure out who they should be showing your post to. That's how you get found. Well, voice search is a new term. And what it means is thinking more in terms of talking into a device and asking for something. Because this is the new way now that people find what they want. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? You probably all have a device in your home right now that you can speak into and search for things using your voice. Who knows what I'm talking about? I'm trying not to give it away, right? You guys all have, I have something on my phone that I can, in fact, it thinks I'm talking to it right now. It's like, yes, exactly. Ding, 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 ding. Alexa, somebody said, Siri and Alexa, Google Home. Yeah. So now we need to start thinking of, what are people speaking? Because that's the future. It will be less typing on a device to look for something and more speaking what we want to look for. And so that's why it's so important to speak in your own voice. That's how people are going to start searching. It's like, hey, Siri, find me, a great Italian restaurant near me. So if you're writing something in your caption and you had a great Italian restaurant, you would definitely want to be writing, this is a great Italian restaurant near such and such city in such and such state. And all those little words that are being used are called voice search optimization. And I will tell you, my grandkids, who are ages 2 years to 7 years, this is all they know. They have Alexa, they have the remote control. They want to watch one of their shows on, Moana. They just pick up the TV remote and they're like, Moana, and it comes on. Or they want to listen to a song, whatever it is. I mean, this is going to be the way kids are, they have homework and they're going to be, Alexa, tell me what 3 + 8 is. I mean, it's crazy. That's the boomer in me speaking. But yeah, so now we need to start thinking in a voice search, not just Google typing. Oh, look. Siri just went on. That's hysterical. She thinks I'm talking to her right now. And so, it's more important than ever to speak in your own voice, because that's how people are going to be searching for you, using their own voice. And it's also more authentic. That's what, people connect to now. They don't want a marketing message. No one wants to be sold to, just be human, even on social media. It's something we don't see too often, right? People don't always act like a person like they would in real life when they are online. So voice search is something that needs to be on your radar. And the more you write captions and when you're going live, speaking in your own voice, the more you're going to be able to get found. When somebody says to Alexa and they say, Alexa, find me a chicken recipe, and you've done a million videos on chicken recipes, it could come up in their search, right? Pretty cool. Yes, Siri is listening right now. I'm probably going to open my phone now and there's going to be like 20 chicken recipes delivered to me because our phones are listening all the time. It's a little frightening. Okay, what else? So there is one more, cross posting. And I am doing this right now. So I am live on both Facebook and YouTube at the same time. Most of you, I could tell from the comments, because I can actually see my comments both on Facebook and YouTube in the same place. And that's because I'm using StreamYard to go live, which allows that cross posting ability with their paid account. This is a basic account, in case you want to know. Lisa's saying Alexa gave her chicken recipes too. You're all getting chicken recipes now when you open your phone. So yeah, and this is kind of the good news. Think about how you can create one piece of content and cross post it to your other social sites. Make sure it's relevant for that site. For example, if you're on TikTok, you definitely don't want to cross post, or you might call it repurposing, to Reels with that TikTok watermark. Make sure you either record your screen with it before that watermark is added, which is added when you publish it, or use a watermark remover because it will reduce your reach. So make sure it's relevant for that platform. So what I like to do, I'm obviously live in 2 platforms at one time, right? YouTube and Facebook. Make sure you guys tap that bell. If you tap on this video, you'll see a little bell pop up that will help you get notified when I'm live the next time. And what I'll do is I'll use my screen recorder to grab a little clip of this. And actually YouTube now has YouTube clips where I can just grab a little clip, creating more content, and then link back to this video. I can even share that in my stories on Facebook and Instagram with sound, share a little sound bite, and I can add a link, right? You can add a link now to your stories that links to the full video. So I'll take this Facebook Live, I will share it to stories. Obviously on YouTube, I can create a YouTube clip with it as well. And I'll turn it into an Instagram reel, not the same video. I'll make a different reel that is under 12 seconds, but sharing the exact same tips. And I'll use the caption to add more value and take a little deeper dive. So how cool is that? Shelly's saying, what am I using? I'm using StreamYard, which is my favorite platform. I can also restream. Now, I told you guys we're right at 5 o'clock here, 5:04, to stick around for the end. So check this out. And this is something you can use to create a Phygital, physical and digital experience. And so imagine, check this out. There's a barcode. So if you're watching on desktop, you could grab your phone, take out your camera, hover over that barcode. Let's see, where is it? Like that. And it will take you to my website, to my mentoring program. That's an easy way, a frictionless experience for those of you that are like, wow, I really need to get that training. I need to get access to Lynn's social selling expertise. That's where you get it, in my mentoring program. How cool is that? You could put a barcode, what? On your live stream. Now, of course, they would have to watch on desktop. That's a downside because you have to take out your phone. Or if you're watching on mobile, I'll be wrapping up my show. So as soon as this is done, you can obviously take out your phone and hover over if you're pulling this up on another device. But think outside the box, right? You could do that in a virtual party and just create a barcode of a party link. I'm going to tell you how, so don't panic. You're going to learn. What if you had a barcode, you printed it out and made a visual at your vendor events? All they had to do was take out their phone, hover over the barcode, with their camera, and it can take them wherever you want. Where would you send people? It could go to your, sorry, it's not a barcode, it's a QR code. QR code, not barcode. Right? How easy is that? That could just be like a sign, right? A little poster on your vendor table. Join my community right here. And so QR codes were kind of going out and not really being used that much until 2020. And now they're part of everyday life. My husband and I went out to dinner last week and there was a little, little table sign with a QR code. And that's how we got the menu. Is that a Phygital experience? It sure is. Yes, it is. So again, these things are just part of our everyday life and we're not even thinking about it. And it's all because we have fast forwarded, combining your physical and digital world in the last couple years. So pretty cool. Very good. Shelly, you're thinking, I like it. Shelly said, take a screenshot of the live video, save the photo, and then you can go to the photo and click on it to open the link in your browser. Thank you, Shelly. So cool. So the way to make a QR code, one of my favorite sites that I use every single day, and that is Canva. So just start with a white blank. I just started with like a square template that was just a white background. And then when you click on share, you'll see the option to create a QR code and you add a link and you can download the code. So, so easy to do. So think about creating, is it frictionless? It's combining frictionless and Phygital at the same time. So if you're doing an in-person party, you could have a little sign on the coffee table or on the kitchen counter with either the party link, or it could be your Facebook group. Maybe you're building your list. You want people to join your email list. It can go wherever you want it to be. Boom. So yes, you can add them to your Facebook Live too. So I did this using StreamYard. I downloaded the QR code that I made on Canva. And again, this links to my mentoring program. Totally just using this as an example. And then using Canva, I have Canva Pro, was able to create a little overlay with a transparent background. So that way you could see me and it wouldn't cover up my face. So that is, imagine going live for a virtual party and having a QR code on your screen that is the party link. You could totally do that. Or maybe it's going to a Google form where you want people to enter a prize entry. That is a really smart way to create a simple follow-up system, especially for vendor events. Instead of a paper door prize, I hope you guys are not using paper door prizes anymore, because we've come a long way, baby. Send them to a Google form and then they're filling it out. You could see the results in real time on your phone. Maybe, give them a ticket so that they do have something physical that they can take with them. But then you have all those leads They've entered it via a Google form. You're not trying to figure out what their, what was that email address? You can never understand people's writing on those price slips, right? It's like, forget about it. So this would be a really fun way to create a Phygital, frictionless door prize or prize entry at a vendor event just by having a QR code, print it out, put it on a little sign, and have it on your vendor table. Enter the prize drawing here. Who's going to have the coolest table? You. So we're going to be like, oh, what's happening over there? So yeah, there's lots of different QR codes that you can use, but I'm like I like the one-stop shop, and really Canva does so many things. It's just so easy to use. All right, so that's all we have for you, bringing you up to date with all the social selling trends, those new buzzwords that you need to start thinking about that really ultimately help you reach more people, convert more, get more results, more parties, more sales, more new recruits, and creating those simpler systems to help you save time. So thank you guys for watching. We'll be back next Wednesday with a new episode of Social Girl Live. Jump on into my mentoring program right there. If you want to take that more customers in 15 days challenge and see exactly how I'm able to keep that going, I'm repurposing it as it's ongoing, it's on demand, frictionless. You can take that challenge anytime, and it's all done in a nice summary in our members only group. So you can actually see all of those things in action. All right. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll see you guys next Wednesday. Don't forget, tap the bell if you want to get notified when I am live next. Bye.